They claim that they've given you nearly $15,000.
I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that.
Is there any money that you owe them?
I spent more than they gave me.
Now the bird lady will have to make her case in court, and we can confirm she has a lot to say when asked why the tailgates didn't happen.
My handyman, my worker, he tripped, busted his head open, blood everywhere, and I went over the bump. The dang trailer came off the hitch. 17 surgeons been pronounced dead 4 times. Last time they turned off life support, and I woke up in a room with dead people. Because I had double pneumonia with a viral infection. Duct tape or super glue, it's an illusion.
Now, we just got this arrest warrant in our hands.
You know, I have a lot of great things coming up. So you might want to go and subscribe to my new channel, which is Tiff Speaks The Troof. And that's Tiff Speaks, SPEAKS, and then and this stands for my middle initial, THA, not E, THA, and then Truth. So you can go on there.
We out of here. No, Dad. Yeah, she's voted out. She's out. She's all right. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Get her out of here.
Just be out of order.
Security, get out of here.
Illegal, go wrong.
She cannot run.
Oh my God! Look at this thing, man. Still arguing.
Williams' team says she has been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. These are conditions associated with changes in behavior, communication, and personality. Now, if this sounds familiar, it may be because back in 2022, actor Bruce Willis was diagnosed with aphasia, which has progressed to frontotemporal dementia. The announcement comes just days before the premiere of a Lifetime documentary about Williams' physical and mental health that is set to air this weekend. For more on this, we want to bring in Dr. Romy Mushtak. She's the neurologist and chief wellness officer at Great Wolf Resorts. Dr. Mushtak, thanks for being with us. She's also the author of the book, The Busy Brain Cure.
Oh my gosh. Good people, what is happening? How are you? Happy Friday Eve. We have made it. Let's get some music crunk back up in here. It's Friday Eve. I know the audio is going to act funny for a second, so let's just give it a minute. Drive out system. Some of this bad news today may land some people getting locked up. Hint, hint, ATL Bird Lady. Hint, hint, Tiffany Henyard. Not good, looking good for some of these individuals. I think that's long enough. Let the audio get right. I don't know why it does that though. You know, I use StreamYard, and when you put an audio track in at the very beginning, your audio sounds funny for a second, but hopefully it had time to get all of that. Again, what's up, people? Happy Friday Eve. Congratulations. You are halfway through, well, I say a third of the way through this holiday season. You survived Thanksgiving. You survived Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? Okay, and now you're at Friday freaking Eve. Congratulations. So if you've been run crazy, run ragged by your black job, your brown job, your white job, your whatever job, be celebratory that the weekend is upon us, but also be happy and grateful for your job. Because if you're a government employee, come the turn of the new year, it may be some bad news for you once the Dodge, the government efficiency joints and Elon get in there. So I don't know. It may be bad news. But speaking of bad news, this has been a week seriously chock full of bad news. Some people, the bad news may be warranted because there may be some shady individuals or some individuals that have been severely incompetent at best, even if we want to say they're not shady. But it's also been some bad news that's just been downright sad. And I am going to tell you why I'm covering each and every one of these stories. There's a reason. There's a reason I'm covering the shady part. And once I cover all three of those individuals, I'll tell you why. And there's reasons why I'm covering the sad part as well. So let's jump straight into the first story, which all three of the first stories deal with the shady. It's bad news for the shady. So game here in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Think it was Thanksgiving weekend, right? The ATL Bird Lady. You may have seen it before. Like almost all the time you see ATL shots, people in the stands. She's like the ATL super fan, almost like an ambassador. But let's check out what's going on with her right now and what kind of not so awesome news she got at the game. Let's go into this right quick. Share this with you fine people.
And known as the Bird Lady, arrested at the game yesterday.
This all comes after an Atlanta News First investigation into allegations that she took money from fans to plan tailgates, but then bailed. Atlanta News First investigator Anastasia almost spoke with her just hours before it all happened.
And Anastasia, you're live at 5 from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So what exactly happened here?
Well, we had been trying to interview the Bird Lady for weeks now, and I finally got her to meet up with me right before the game yesterday. I actually wanted to talk about these allegations that she had taken money from people for tailgates and then just never showed. She denied a lot of those allegations, and then, you know, we walked right up to the stadium gates here. I left her, and by halftime, I found out that the Atlanta Police Department had arrested her. The warrant says for theft by deception.
You ready? We're gonna eat some cowboy soup.
Sunday morning, Atlanta News First Investigates took a ride with the self-proclaimed Atlanta Falcons Bird Lady on her way to the game.
Beep, 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 beep. When I say 18, you say L. 18.
L.
18.
L.
We wanted to get her side of the story after 4 groups of NFL fans tell us she took thousands of dollars from tailgates and Super Bowl trips from 2014 to 2024 that they say never happened. People say that you have used the money towards fixing your car or paying for your
I don't need that money for that. Okay. I don't need that. I've never had a problem with money. I have money. My family has money.
Hey.
The superfan and season ticket holder from Macon denied the allegations of misusing any money. When they hire you, you mention your nonprofit, Bird Lady Cares.
Yeah.
How much of this funding has gone towards your nonprofit?
None of that went to because I spent more than I received. So Bird Lady Cares got nothing.
The nonprofit Bird Lady Cares Inc. is registered through the IRS and listed
always
online,
got
serving
an
children
organization.
affected by abuse, domestic violence, and bullying.
When I say rise, you say up. Rise, rise, up.
We followed as the Bird Lady parked her golf
Locked
cart
up.
between accessible parking spots outside of the stadium. We walked with her to the entrance. And by second quarter, we received this photo. Atlanta police had arrested Freeman on a felony charge of theft by deception.
Oh, snap.
Really did think me sending the news clip to the detective made him jump on it more.
Look, y'all already got the right call.
Organizers with the Chiefs fan club reported Freeman to police on October 7th. They claimed she took nearly $15,000 to host their tailgate in September and never showed.
But I had not heard anything. The story aired that you did, thank you. And I was contacted immediately the next day by the Attorney General's office. And then I did have a follow-up call from the detective working on the case.
The arrest warrant issue date is 6 days later.
Time to go inside.
The Bird Lady told us all of the goods are still at her house and that she told the Chiefs fan club that they could come get everything.
Oh, you can get that.
They claim that they've given you nearly $15,000.
I don't believe that, nah.
Ladies, may we get a word?
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
I don't believe
Is
that.
there any money that you owe them?
I spent more than they gave me.
Now the Bird Lady will have to make her case in court.
Talking about?
We can confirm she has a lot to say when asked why the tailgates didn't happen.
My handyman, my worker, he tripped, busted his head open, blood everywhere. And I went over the bump. The dang trailer came off the hitch. 17 surgeries, been pronounced dead 4 times. Last time they turned off life support, and I woke up in a room of dead people. As I had double pneumonia with a viral infection. Duct tape or super glue, it's an illusion.
Now, we just got this arrest warrant in our hands, and in it, the officer states that he tried through several means to contact her, calling her, leaving her voicemails. He sent police to her house for a welfare check. He contacted family members.
Welfare check.
He says
You all
that
right?
he even checked the local hospital but could not find her. It was on NFL Sunday yesterday that they were able to find her here. The officer said she had disappeared, but this is where they arrested her. Reporting live here in Atlanta, I'm Anastasia Olmos. Atlanta News First investigates.
All right, party people. ATL Bird Lady, you see the question down at the bottom. Do you believe the Bird Lady? Do you believe all of these goods or whatever that she said is still at her house that the Chief fans can come get? Like, I thought they paid her money, so is it money sitting there? Do you believe all the excuses about a contractor busting their head wide open? Or she woke up with dead people with some kind of pneumonia and double viral infections and whatnot. But she also told us that she didn't need to take these people's money because she comes from money. Her family has money, right? So if you got so much money, why are you dependent on one contractor that if he busts his head wide open, all of your endeavors cease to move forward? It's really, really funny. And one of the reasons why this Bird Lady story is funny, because we've seen her around. I didn't know she was trying to do tailgate parties and tours or whatever. But one of the reasons this caught my attention is because I was doing some work with JR Wisdom, shout out to the Wiz, on his new podcast he's got going on here in Atlanta, Atlanta Noir. Check it out. And he had the lady that's the owner and founder of Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar. And she was saying one of the issues she had here in Atlanta was that there's so many people pretending to be doing things. And this Bird Lady is one of these examples of pretending to be from a family with money, pretending to be helping people put together tailgates and packages, and being all in the mix and all in front of all of this stuff. And it's all smoke and mirrors, a scam. But speaking of scammers, let's get off this small potatoes time scammer. And let's get over to somebody into some real meat and potatoes. You know who we talking about. Miss Henyard. Miss Henyard has been dealt some serious bad news this week, and it couldn't be more timely because I have purposely not covered Dalton, Thornton Township, or Miss Henyard since I came out of my little hiatus for a couple of months. And the reason for that was because I wanted to wait until after the Clean House 2025 had taken effect. And then I wanted to cover the stories of the rebuild and the rebound of the city, because I was tired of, seriously, Ms. Henyard and the chaotic meetings getting all of the attention from the people that were there on the ground that actually had to live in that stuff. Like I think a Dr. Smith that tried to open the food bank that Henyard and her cronies tried to take over with like some property stuff, or a barber that tried to open a barber school and a tattoo place that they tried to squeeze on for his property. So those were the people in the stories that I found more interesting, more than just the stupid stuff Miss Henyard was doing and like the chaos you see at the meetings. But something that was interesting was that I was looking at something on Facebook, and then Facebook decided to give me a notification that Miss Henyard was live. So I was like, you know what? Let's check it out. So let's check it out. I'm gonna share it with you right quick. See what she was talking about before a lot of this stuff happened this week. Let's get to some share screens and share video. All right. Let's get some Tiff Speaks.
Hey guys, come on in, come on in.
We in here.
Got some information that I would like to share with everyone.
She got some info.
Come on in. I'm gonna give people the opportunity to get on. Got about 2 minutes.
I'm pausing it right now because I'm gonna let her go for a little while, and I'm gonna try not to interrupt her. But watch how she does her usual stuff. She's gonna invite everybody in, but then she's going to give us some kind of fake scripture because she's always starts to invoke some kind of Christianity when she's trying to flim-flam people. She's also going to let everybody know how much money is in the GA fund. Why is that important? Well, the GA fund is the General Assistance Fund. She does that at all of the meetings as, in my opinion, an effort to try to bribe/obfuscate the issues. It's like we got plenty of stuff to give away. She's always talking about giveaways to try to deflect and take the attention off of her. So she's gonna do all of this stuff in here, and I'm gonna let her do it. And then we're gonna go and do what she tells us to do, which is go to check out her YouTube channel.
2 minutes before I talk to you about what's going on. Come on in. And also, if you're watching, I have a lot of great things coming up.
Great things.
So you might want to go and subscribe to my new channel, which is Tiff Speaks The Troof. And that's TIFF Speaks, SPEAKS, and then and this stands for my middle initial, THA, not E, THA, and then Truth. So you can go on there. Hey, I love you too. You go in there and you can subscribe because I am going to lay out a whole line of different events that didn't happen along the way. So people that think they know my story will really understand my story.
I'm gonna try to understand.
Facts, not fiction. Facts.
Yes. Okay.
So
I'm here for it.
You might want to go on there and subscribe to the channel because that's where I will be laying it all out for you.
Lay it, baby. Lay it.
Tiff Speaks The Truth. THA, not E. And again, I like to be creative. So that's T for Tiffany.
Jesus, she done spelled it 6 times already.
Aisha.
Aisha, we got it.
And somebody can put it down in the comments so that you guys can follow. And tomorrow I have something I'm gonna post. And then I got something major this week for you guys.
You sure do got something major.
You're gonna want to be
Did you post it?
You ain't gonna want to hear about it. You're gonna want to come see about it.
See about it.
So
Got
really, really pay attention. So all my youth that's out here watching,
motivate
please, whatever you do, stay 10 toes down at any given time. Never let anybody rattle your cage. Keep going, push through, because this too shall pass. And remember, no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. He didn't say it wouldn't form, but it won't prosper. So just keep staying positive and lead with love. Don't worry about the hate. Don't worry about the naysayers. Keep going, because at the end of the day, only you can fix it. You.
So
hopefully that's a little encouragement for somebody this evening. All right, we almost there.
I'm encouraged.
Start with what I have to say.
Yes,
but I do want to announce this. We are giving out turkeys, hams, and fresh food boxes this Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. So if you have not signed up, you might want to go into thorntontownship.com and sign up so you can get your very own turkey or ham and fresh food box. And you know how I do. I'll make sure I get y'all a cooked meal too. Even though when we in the kitchen, we eating and everything, but you have a cooked meal so that you can be okay for that evening, the night before Thanksgiving.
All right. What you got?
Come on in. You got
we in.
30 seconds. And then we will begin.
All right. What you gonna tell us?
Again, go to Tiff Speaks The Truth. On YouTube. I have a channel that I started. It's TIFF and then Speaks, SPEAKS. The THA Truth, TRUTH. So go on there, guys, and you can sign up. And you will get notifications of things that I have, things I'm speaking of, and you will be able to keep up with your Super Mayor. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of disturbing information out there, but no truth to it. It's all fake. It's all fictional. And I just want to show you guys what it is. And I want to show you guys what it looks like.
Please show me right quick.
Strong and have strength throughout it all. Throughout the controversy. Remember, this too shall pass. As I just stated before. because it's going to always be somebody that don't like you, somebody got something to say, somebody that's negative, but it don't matter. Everybody got an opinion. But at the end of the day, what matters is your opinion and your mental. So you keep your mental together and you keep pushing, keep striving.
I'm sorry, mental is an adjective. It is not a noun.
And don't never, ever give up. No matter how hard it gets, don't give up. Because sometimes
I thought you was going to update, lady.
Right at the finish line, and you will turn around. And you shouldn't allow nobody to put that in your heart, your head, to give up, especially on you. Never give up on you, because I believe in you. All right, here we go. I don't know, because I got a lot to say. Y'all know how I am. We're going to be on here for a minute, but I'll try not to be long-winded. I promise.
I just had to give y'all
so this is
what I got alerted to look at
that I'm going to post
on the Facebook.
The letter, and then also give it to all the fake news station.
Okay, now she is about to read her official statement about whatever's been going on with the meetings and trustees and blah 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 blah. Please watch how she reads her own words.
The outlets that I don't think is going to post, let alone play my entire message. So I'm gonna read it here in this form so that you will know the truth and you will know what's going on here at Thornton Township. It's been a long time since we had an actual meeting, because every time it's time to have a meeting, people either don't show up, people walk out, or people just cancel. And it's sad, because as an elected official or the host that's trying to get in this game, make sure that's what you really want to do, because it does require your time. It requires commitment. It requires dedication. And with that being said, you must show up to your scheduled board meetings. I don't care if you agree or disagree, but you must show up to say yes or no.
Should you be on time?
Present, but show up, because you were elected or appointed to do the will of the people. And that's to show up and be a vote for the people. That's it. Like I said, whether you want to vote yes or no is your choice, but show up. Don't be absent, because when you're absent, that means you have abandoned your job. I mean that. We have all showed up despite our differences, despite how we felt, and we put it on record for our opinion of what we think should happen, or why we don't agree with the way things is going, and we vote no.
I didn't hear about stolen turkeys.
This is how it goes. This is me, Tiffany Henyard, the people supervisor, and this is a message from your current supervisor.
All right, give me the message.
This is a statement regarding the November 19th, 2024 board meeting cancellation.
Okay.
Now, for those that don't understand, before I get into reading my statement, when a board meeting is canceled, remind you must.
So we're going to cut from here, because she's not really going to read anything in this statement. All she's going to keep doing is saying how you got to show up to meetings. So we got it. And she promoted her YouTube channel. And we're going to go over here and go over to the, we're going to go over to Ask Tiff, Tiff Speaks YouTube channel. But before we go over there, we're going to check out some news that was covered by the great Nate, the lawyer, earlier, like 2 days ago. And we're not going to find any post about this news on Tiffany Speaks YouTube channel. So let's go check out Nate's coverage right quick and see what happened. Because Tiffany had a lot of information a little while ago, but none of it had to do with what went down this week.
I have a very, very important announcement for you guys. Our girl, the Super Mayor, has just lost her $220,000 or $250,000 a year
combined job with Dalton.
She will not be the supervisor of Thornton Township. Now, that's so you don't got to stay to watch the whole thing. Now you know what happened. But she showed up to this meeting and she acted a straight fool. So we are about to witness the Super Mayor act a straight fool. But before we get to that, we got to give a moment of silence to the Super Mayor. Super Mayor has been good for us. Super Mayor has been good. Ever since I saw this fool, I was like, this woman is a gold mine. I thought it was a gold mine. I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. But
no, what she was doing did not make sense.
She has lost. And it's It's a tough road ahead. Tough road ahead. I'm covering up the stories, but this one, it seems like you know. Now, just so everybody knows, she's still the mayor of Dalton. She still got the FBI thing going on, but she is not going to be Thornton Township supervisor. They voted her out and voted all her enemies in. All the people that she don't like, they voted them in and her out. So we're about to watch the Super Mayor, the end of the Super Mayor. Now,
the end of the Super Mayor.
That, though,
and it is because there's no more
super. This is the local
supervisor.
Caucus. So, like, we have the Democratic primaries and caucus. That's what this was, the caucus, and the Democratic Party puts up their nominee for Thornton Township supervisor, and that's where Henyard went, and she was trying to say, hey, I should be the Democratic nominee. So the Democrats have rejected Henyard and said, no, you can't even be on the ballot. So she won't even appear on a ballot. So Henyard's gone. Call me Lizzo, because it's about damn time. Rose. That's an evil one, Rose. No. We wanted more Super Mayor. But she's gone. So here we go. We're going to watch the end of Super Mayor. Now, obviously, I fast forwarded because we didn't need to watch the first 25 minutes. But Eric, I was right. She actually been voted out before prison. Eric, no. We're going to watch this, Eric. And we're going to say, here we go. The Super Mayor acts a fool, though. She's not the actor. But they just started. Again, this is a caucus. So it's like their way of like the Democrat. It's equivalent to a primary, and they're going to vote in their candidate. Now she knows if she doesn't win this, she's out.
She's out.
So here we go. I hope everybody can hear me. Oh, my boy Lead in the chat. Lead.
We had Lead in the building. Nice.
That's Napoleon Harris right there with the suit on. State Senator Napoleon Harris and the Democratic committeeman of Thornton Township. The committeeman is different than the supervisor. Remember that. The committeeman is the political position for Thornton Township. The supervisor is the one that's over the services. Two different positions.
All right, here we go. So we start with the pledge. Linda. Good to see you, Linda.
Everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
So they rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. So these are the Democratic committee members. So the party person who runs all the Democrats. And all those people are constant. Those are the people who are going to pick who's going to be the Democratic nominee for the mayor. Essentially, who's going to be the super mayor, because 90% of the township is like. But those who can't hear because he's not using the mic, this is a motion for the rule. This is the way
I second that.
That's what he stands.
All in favor of moving it up and say aye.
So now they adopted the rules.
All right, rules in place. Let's go.
Next order of business is the appointment.
We shall appoint the election judges.
So they're appointing the election judges. These are the people who tell you who won and who.
The next outburst will be removed from the call.
Yep.
Now, any other outbursts?
The election judges are as follows.
See a couple of
Bobby Chapman, Jason House, and Chief Judge
Jason A. House.
So the judges for the election
is none other than Bert Olson, and our secretary is Casey Nell.
Oh, to listen to the names.
I heard him.
We shall appoint the election judges. We shall appoint the election judges. The next outburst will be removed from the call. The election judges are as follows: Bobby Chapman, Jason House, and Chief Judge Kiana Gillis. The parliamentarian for this evening is none other than Bert Olson. And our secretary is Casey Nell.
You'll see in a second.
We have our Sergeant of Arms, Edward Bowman, and Assistant Sergeant of Arms, Paris Steele.
So, Jason House, Kiana Belcher, they're the judges. Their attorney, the one that Henyard hates, he's actually running the meeting as their parliamentarian. And so this is the whole. So it's like everybody who she hates is running this meeting, but they're part of the Democratic establishment there.
Now, you can sell physical products on Amazon and compete with thousands of other people selling physical products.
We can sell physical skips.
Next, we're going to open the floor for nominations. We're going to open the floor. You have not been recognized.
Excuse me.
So have a seat. Have a seat. Washington has been recognized.
All the people are outside. How do you start a meeting without the people?
Please be seated.
Like the people are outside. Y'all didn't let the people start coming in. Y'all gotta let the people in. This is not right.
Oh, now you want to let people in, and you don't recall not doing that at your own meetings?
Get out.
Just so we all know what's happening, she's running to the meeting, and because you're like looking for nominations. Now she's bugging out. She's like, "Hey,
nominations.
She's saying there's people outside waiting to get in. They're doing this unfairly. They should have called her because she's the supervisor right now."
Yes.
So that's what she's doing. She's trying to stall the meeting.
Stall it. What up, Belch? Getting a taste of our old medicine. Get the taste. How's it taste, mother? Oh.
So just so everybody understands what's going on, they're letting her yell and scream, and they're now nominating a slate of candidates for
in her face.
The township. So they're saying these are all the people who want to run for this position, and she's still arguing like, hey, let people in, but obviously you see the place is packed, everybody's inside.
She ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Oh, she's still out here crying. She over here crying.
They voted on the motion to make a slate.
Out of here. She's out of here.
Ooh.
That's it.
She's out of here.
Done.
Ooh.
She's out of here.
They voted in the
She's out of here.
Ooh, it's over, bro.
Everybody,
She's out of here.
And she's
Get out of here.
Township job. That's why everybody's clapping.
Get out of here.
Craig.
Bye, Felicia.
No, Dad, yeah, she's voted out. She's out. She's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Get her out of here.
Just be out of order.
Security, get out of here.
Illegal, all wrong.
She's still standing there,
She cannot
bro.
run.
Oh my God! Look at this.
Oh my God. They like take the toboggan and get the hell out of here.
Yo, this is crazy. Yeah.
And you got plenty of time for double gumps now.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
They did the business.
It's a wrap for you.
Look at the bubble gumps, baby.
Look at the news reporter.
Yes. They got a mic for your face. They got a mic for your face.
The Democratic slate that will represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For Supervisor, Napoleon Henyard.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night.
Let's get the skipping. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, guys. That's it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's a $250,000.
Get her out of here.
She just lost.
Get her out of here.
Going. That loot is going. That is going. No more Super Mayor. No more Super Mayor. Now it's just Mayor. The Super is going. No supervisor of Thornton Township anymore. They didn't even want to hear it. No nomination for you. That's it. But oh yeah, I forgot, because Facebook gave me the notification that Tiffany had gone live. Then we checked out Tiffany, and Tiffany kept spelling her name 8 times in Truth and Speak, and she told us to go subscribe to her YouTube channel. So I did that. I went and subscribed to her YouTube channel. So let's see what's on said YouTube channel, since she asked us to do that. Let's go check it out. Let's go see what's on there. Let's go see what's on the YouTube. Let's go see first of all, let's go to YouTube. Thank you. You might want to do that first. You probably should have had it open already. That would have been slick. Yeah, if you had it open already. All right, there we go. Now you can share. Now you got something to share. All right. Let's go down here to Tiff Speaks. Wait, what? Tiff Speaks has no new. Wait, what? All right. We go over to the videos tab, and what do we have? It's the same thing we just saw.
Is troubling, as critical issues that directly impact our township's operations and services remain unresolved.
Yeah, we don't need to hear you read that, because guess what? You got canned. Why didn't you post it? Huh, lady? Tiffany Speaks the Truth. The truth is you got canned. You don't want to tell us how much of the GA fund? How many giveaways you got going on? So that was the bad news for Miss Tiff. Very, very, very bad news. Hey, Shane, I won't say I'll dispute that. Our biggest issue is that she was terrible at her job. That's what her problem was. Speaking of people being bad at their jobs, speaking of people getting bad news, people that may have either been shady or quote unquote incompetent, to say the least. More bad news. This time this was brought to me by my good pal over at Dear Woke Christian, Jason Whitaker over at Dear Woke Christian. Had some great coverage on something that kept popping up on my phone, and I thought I already knew what I was going to do on this live, so I wasn't paying attention to it. And that was that our local district attorney.
You saw the
Not yet. Our local district attorney here, Miss Fani Pack Willis, has also been having some bad news. Talking some bad news. Some things that are not going to be very good for the person that has proclaimed that what was that she said? She said something.
I said, are you kidding? I'm the best DA this county's ever had.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. She said she's the best DA this county's ever had. So let's check out what kind of week this best DA the county's ever had. Let's see what she has going on. Jason, take it away, sir.
You know what we're about to do. Y'all, this has not been Fani Willis's week, and today is only Tuesday. It has not been a good. Yesterday was not a good day for Fani Willis. I got 3 clips to show you. This is pretty bad. Let's bring it in. Let's talk about it. What are we talking about, Jason? Well, let's talk about the first thing. On Tuesday, she was dealt the first of many blows that she was not divulging information according to the Open Records Act. Let me bring this in and let me explain. Let's go.
Earlier this evening, DA Willis suffered a defeat in a civil case over open records. A Fulton County Superior Court judge ruled that Willis violated the Georgia Open Records Act after she did not provide records relating to special counsel Jack Smith and communications with the U.S. House January 6th committee. The plaintiff, Judicial Watch, sued the DA after not getting those records. In the judgment, the judge ordered that the records be provided within 5 days. A hearing will take place later this month on Judicial Watch's motion for legal fees.
Hi, Spencer Raskoff, co-founder and chair of Picasso.
All right. So she's not doing right by the Open Records Act of Fulton County. So she got sued. She lost. Not only does she have to give the records up, but she's probably going to end up having to pay the fees for the people that had to actually sue her. That's L number one. Let's go to the next one. L number two. What's L number two, Jason?
Hold on, though. That's L number one. So after each L, we got to make sure we're reminded that.
I said, are you kidding? I'm the best DA this county's ever had.
The best DA this county's ever had.
Okay, Jason. Now please continue, sir.
This one's pretty wild. Let's go.
The judge will now decide whether a state Senate committee can order Fulton County DA Fani Willis to testify.
The committee is investigating allegations of wrongdoing by Willis in the Georgia election interference case. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the Fulton County Courthouse with more on today's hearing. Deidre?
And that hearing got underway here at the Fulton County Courthouse this afternoon. And in court, Willis's attorneys said that they did not believe that the state Senate had the legal authority to order Willis to testify. Attorneys for the state saying that the committee certainly did have that authority and that they want Willis to testify before the start of the next legislative session.
We are here on Willis versus Hauser.
Attorneys for the Special State Senate Committee investigating Fulton County DA Fani Willis are asking the judge to order Willis to appear before the committee after she ignored a subpoena and refused to turn over documents the committee requested in the Georgia election interference case. The committee is investigating allegations of wrongdoing on the part of Willis, including claims she and former special prosecutor Nathan Wade had an inappropriate relationship. Both have denied the allegations, and Wade has since resigned from the case.
It is necessary to determine whether the alleged conduct of District Attorney Willis, if proven to be true or cut, should be addressed by the enactment of new or amended laws, prompt some change in state appropriations, or both. That's why she's been invited to testify.
We would be blind not to see what all of us see.
Willis's attorneys argued that the state Senate does not have subpoena powers and that their actions are politically motivated, that lawmakers want to embarrass Willis.
This was nothing but singling out one person who's been duly elected in this circuit and duly re-elected in this circuit to embarrass. It's not for any legitimate legislative purpose.
But attorneys for the state said the state constitution clearly gives the Georgia Assembly subpoena powers.
The state Senate is entitled to investigate whether there is a need to reform practices, and it specifically identifies them.
Now, the judge did not announce a decision today, and she did not indicate when she will issue a ruling.
That's L number two. This one right here, I think this one's going to have larger ramifications because it deals with the Trump interference case, because she's the only one that's still trying to dig in her heels in that lawfare case. She's the only one still holding on. Everybody else has just let go of it, but she's still holding on. We'll see what happens with that, but I don't think it's going to go too far. So she caught one L. Now she caught another L. Let's go ahead and spell Lululemon, because this one right here is the L that rocked the bells, ladies and gentlemen.
Rock the bells. What? Before you get to L number three, the L that rocks the bell, we got to be reminded of.
I said, are you kidding? I'm the best DA this county's ever had.
The best DA this county's ever had.
All right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Mr. Foreperson, is that correct? All right, and was it unanimous? Yes. All right, and this verdict has been filled in and signed and dated by you, correct? For each defendant. All right, and I noticed that Mr. Kendrick's verdict form is dated December 2nd. Is that because that's when you all reached the verdict with regard to him? Okay. And then Mr. Stillwell's is dated today. Okay. All right, Mr. Kendrick, you have been found not guilty on all charges.
Oh, snap.
That's right.
Mr.
That's
Stillwell.
right, baby Bubba.
Can you please stand? You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge.
That's a real hug.
Shout
was
out to him.
genuine.
Shout
You
out
hear
to
it?
him.
You could hear it. That was
Yesterday was a
embrace.
horrible day for Fani Willis. That's all I'm gonna say
Horrible.
again. That was a horrible day. She got slapped down with the Freedom of Information Act. She gets slapped down with the fact that she's probably going to have to come and answer for that subpoena. But even if she doesn't, the fact that she got drugged this far into it, she might as well just go ahead. And then lastly, she lost this 2-year trial. 2 years.
Rico's all
with
over
nothing to show for it. Georgia taxpayers paid all of that money, nothing to show for it. This is craziness. But y'all, I know the YSL trial is over. I got a playlist of fun videos I made looking at the trial is down below. Check it out. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. We're out.
Yo, like he said, Miss Willis, the self-proclaimed.
I said, are you kidding? I'm the best DA this county's ever had.
Self-proclaimed best DA this county has ever had, has had a horrible week, found in violation of the Freedom of Information Act, somebody that you would think a first-year attorney would know how not to violate. Going to cost some taxpayer dollars there. Ending off with the great effort of a 2-year trial, every YSL person off, like, you're the best DA this county's ever had with like no convictions. So why did I bring these three up? The Bird Lady, Miss Henyard, Miss Willis. Entrepreneurs, city officials, government officials, etc. Women of leadership. The reason I brought this up was, yes, they all had some very bad weeks and very bad news. But I had a question posed to me earlier this week, and that's what ties all of these individuals together, along with the likes of Miss Peterson, Christine Peterson, the family judge out in Douglasville, Natalie Hall, the county commissioner down in Fulton County that got stalking charges and harassment charges on an employee down there. A question was posed to me. And I'm going to ask this question, and I can't take credit for it. I have to say that a viewer, a friend of the channel asked me this question. I'd give him credit for it, but I don't know if he doesn't want to be put out there like that with this question. And he asked, do you think that, and he was catering this question specifically to Black men, but really, to be honest, it could be to anybody that was paying attention. But he asked, do you think that Black men saw Miss Henyard, Miss Willis, Miss Peterson, Miss Hall, Miss Mallory up in Maryland, all of these women in leadership, and seen a lot of quote unquote sketchy to shady to nefarious to incompetent at best behavior, and been like, I'm good on the Harris ticket? I never thought of that. I never thought of that. And we have been getting inundated with this magical leadership, and we have not been getting a lot of magical results. The best DA this county's ever had has a 2-year trial with everybody just skating all over the place, backwards. They like Usher at this point. So anyway, again, I cannot take credit for that question. I thought it was a good question because sometimes things are are, you know, you get things. Sometimes it's primary, but sometimes it's secondary. I mean, and some of this messaging could have been seeping in, and we've been unaware of it. Been like, you know what? I'm good on this brand of leadership. But let's switch over to actually the part of the live stream that is on the sad part and not so much the shady anymore. And to start off, the first sad story actually is about, I'm pretty sure almost all of you know about it, is the UnitedHealthcare CEO's horrific attack yesterday in Manhattan while he was about to go to a conference at the Hilton, an investor conference to be more specific. And a lot of us got alerts on our phones, whether it was videos or Facebook or TikTok, however it is we get stuff, when we got notified of this. Well, I actually heard about it earlier in the day before I started getting notifications on my phone about it. I actually got a text regarding it because one of my close friends is actually an executive there. And ironically, I was supposed to be meeting with him last night for a wind down Wednesday. And because I'm so terrible at keeping in contact with people and meeting up with people, this was something I was like, okay, I'm down for wind down Wednesday this week, but this was before any of this stuff had happened. So I'm gonna share with you guys the text message I got earlier yesterday regarding this situation, and then we're gonna go into the actual some of the articles and videos that I'm sure some of us have seen. But I just want to put a personal aspect and a personal spin on this from someone that actually worked for the company, that was an executive that actually met and had some dealings with Mr. Thompson. So let me share this right quick, and then I'll do a horrible job reading my own text messages, I'm sure. What was it? Okay, news of him. All right, and okay. Oh, can I pause it? Okay, yeah, I can pause it. All right, so this is what I got yesterday. This is what I received yesterday. I'm just working along, and then I've got, this is from my friend. Everybody, oh my God, I hope I blurred everybody out correctly. Anyway, it says, if I ever needed a wind down, if I ever needed to wind down, today has been insane. Then of course, I see this link, UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, F words. We know what happened. And my question is, is that your company? Because I couldn't remember if that's the way it worked for or not. And, and he said, yes. And I clicked so I clicked the link because I was working, but I was like, let me click the link right quick. And I clicked it and, send over the sad face, and friend replies, murdered just before our investor conference this morning in the heart of Manhattan. Appears to be a targeted hit. And I let him know I read that they said it appeared to be targeted. Then my question was, think it was a John Q situation, which this was funny, referencing John Q, because I forget this movie is so old, and I'm so old that some people don't know what that is. Anyway, John Q was a movie with Denzel Washington where he had a sick son, but I think whatever procedure he needed wasn't covered by insurance. So John Q, Denzel's character, goes on a rampage at the hospital because of that. So that's why my question was, think it was a John Q situation. He's like, dude, there's so many possibilities, but he was a nice guy. I feel bad for his wife and 2 boys. And I was like, that's effed. And I really meant that it was effed, because I thought about, what if this was my CEO? My CEO is very hands-on. My CEO, he sends out mass text messages every time things like this happen. Like, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get one about this tomorrow. Every time something happens, he's very involved. But anyway, I was thinking that if this happened, I would be probably torn. And this is the CEO of my company. And the fact, like he said, that he was looking at it on the level of his wife and his boys. And so then probably about an hour or so went by, and he texted again. He texted me another article, and he said, you could be right about the John Q thing, or it could be an easy cover. So we'll get to that article in a little bit. He's old enough to know what John Q is. And so then later on, he's like, the internet is heartless. Already leaked footage of him getting shot. And of course, I was like, of course. I'm like, news outlets got to hurry up and get to the beat. Content creators, I'm like, of course, you know, this is what's going to happen. And so this was how I was exposed to this story before any videos and really before any news footage. And the only reason I still ended up covering this tonight is because of discussion that actually came up at the Wind Down Wednesday. So the whole aspect that I was looking on is, you see, my initial question was this a John Q situation? I was wrapped up on motive, like why would somebody do something like this? And the only thing that I could think of was either some kind of love triangle, because the quote unquote hit seemed very personal. So the only two things I could think of was a love triangle or somebody blaming someone for a loved one's, you know, losing a loved one over some coverage or something like that. And so anyway, one of the, I wanted to highlight something that came up. So a lot of you guys know the story and know what happened. The assailant was waiting on Mr. Thompson to get ready to go to the Hilton where the investor conference was. But one of the things I found interesting was that the shell casings that were left behind, it said that there were the words delay and depose were found on live rounds and shell casings tied to the shooter. Law enforcement told CNN on Thursday, responding to an earlier ABC report, that 3 words were found. Depose was written on the shell casing from a round that was fired at the victim. Delay was written on a live round that was ejected when the shooter appeared to be clearing the jam. There was a jam when he fired at one point. The police are exploring whether the words found indicate a motive, pointing to the popular phrase in the insurance industry: delay, deny, and defend. Going to share another article right quick. Another article right quick. Again with motive. I think this one was an interview with the wife. Yes, wife. Make sure you guys can see that. Just make it big. You don't need to see me. Don't need Tiffany anymore either. All right. Wife of not here anymore, UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson says husband was being threatened before horror in New York City shooting. The wife of UnitedHealthcare CEO and police sources have claimed he was being threatened before he was fatally attacked. We'll just leave it at that. CEO Brian Thompson, 50, IH, was attacked to not being here by a masked man in Midtown Manhattan on Wednesday morning. Okay. All right. Let's get down here. Here we go. Okay, see, following the tragic news, Thompson's wife, Paulette, had revealed he had been receiving threats. There had been some threats, she told NBC News. Basically, I don't know, a lack of coverage. I don't know the details. I just know that he said some people had been threatening him, but lack of coverage. Lack of coverage. This is definitely sounding like it kind of bolsters this John Q situation. And the reason I ended up covering this, though, wasn't because, oh, I thought this might be a John Q situation. And look at these articles. I may be right. I'm so smart. No, that's not it. What it was the conversation at the Wind Down Wednesday, where my friend that is employed there was still receiving phone calls and text messages from both his colleagues and, you know, people that he supervises that are trying to find out what resources they need to get to you know, to try to help cope and things of that nature. And they started to have the discussion about wondering if there was inside assistance. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? And what was brought up was like, in many cases, especially large corporations, only a handful of people know the itinerary of the CEO, where they're going to be, when they're going to be there, et cetera, et cetera. And so they were like the details of how this guy was lying in wait at the right time, you know, in between the hotel where Mr. Thompson was staying and the hotel where the actual event was. They were / are almost convinced that the attacker either had access to someone within the company, or if someone within the company was just straight up helping. And I just thought that I never even had a notion that this could be, you know, quote unquote, an inside job or inside assistant. And the fact that they were bringing that up last night, it just gave me something else to think about. Going on to the final sad story for tonight. Oh, and the other reason though I was covering this is because I wanted to ask a question. And it's not really a question I know that we're going to come up to an answer with, but if this is a John Q situation, is this just something that's going to be par for the course, or something that we just have to get quote unquote used to dealing with our structure of privatized medicine and privatized healthcare? And this is by no means a push for a socialized healthcare or something like Canada or whatever, whatnot. I'm just asking, the question is, if this is something that may become more and more problematic as we go forward, because let's be real, this guy only did his job. Mr. Thompson was the CEO of a major insurance corporation that has shareholders. Their mission is to have their bottom line be acceptable for their shareholders. Does that mean they're going to have to make tough calls and tough decisions? Yeah. Does that mean some families and some people are not going to be happy? Yeah. But does that mean you get to go attack somebody down in the streets? I don't know. We're going to have to figure that part out, especially if this happens some more. Next sad story. Again, like I said, we had a lot of bad news, but we're bringing these stories up for a reason. And this last story, I'm bringing it up for a reason, and I'll let you know what that reason is after we get through covering it. But let me get ready to share a quick. Oh, I'm just some screen sharing again. Let's do some screen share again. Let's do that, because screen sharing is fun. That's what you say. All right. And actually, I'm about to share some screen here. And it's not a story that you don't know already, I'm sure, but I just want to look at it from a different aspect and ask a couple of questions as it pertains to it. So let's do the screen share thingy right quick. All right. Let's do some of this. Wendy Williams is cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated, Guardian says. Longtime talk show host's condition was described by an attorney for her guardian in court filing earlier this month. Wendy Williams has become cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated, according to a memo filed by her guardian's lawyer. The 60-year-old former talk show host has been afflicted by early onset dementia, resulting in her incapacitations. Attorney for her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, said in a legal filing in New York court, November 12th. Okay. Williams was diagnosed in 2023 with having primary progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia. Her team said in a statement in February. Primary progressive aphasia is a nervous system syndrome that affects the ability to communicate. Frontal temporal dementia, or FTD, refers to a group of diseases that affects the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, and usually is associated with behavioral and personality types, as well as difficulty with language, according to the Mayo Clinic. All right. Filings in part of a lawsuit by Morrissey filed against A&E television networks, Lifetime Services, and others connection with the release of the docuseries Where is Wendy Williams in Where's Wendy Williams in February. In the November 12th memo, attorneys for Morrissey asked the court to approve some redactions of sensitive non-public information to the defense's portion of the joint status letter in Williams' guardianship case to protect her privacy. And that case was under seal. All right, so right quick, let's see who Miss Morrissey is. Let's check out who Miss Morrissey is, because she's going to battle, right? She's going to, matter of fact, let's go down here right here, because they're going to mention Miss Morrissey again right quick. In 2022, Williams's bank, Wells Fargo, petitioned to have her placed under financial guardianship, claiming that she was incapacitated and a victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. Williams later pushed back against these claims. All right, now, some of you may not know. Part of most financial institutions, banks, investment, broker firms, things of this nature, they have a clause for financial guardianship. And it's for anybody that's deemed either mentally challenged or debilitating, situation comes into play. Now, in most cases, this financial guardian is a family member. But in this case, it's somebody in Miss Williams's legal team, this Miss Morrissey. So that's why I'm like, let's check out Miss Morrissey and see who she is. Who is Miss Morrissey? Who is Miss Morrissey? Here we are. All right. Miss Morrissey has practiced law in New York for 19 years and experienced not only in the field of adult guardianship, but also trust and estate work, including accounting and surrogate court litigation. She's an entrepreneur, having started 2 businesses of her own. All right. So Miss Morrissey is she's an attorney. She practices law. She's been in it for almost 20 years, and she's in the business of doing this. Why do I bring this up? Because there's a lot of people that find it somewhat questionable or shady or nefarious that there's an attorney that has this guardianship for Miss Williams's account and not a family member. I don't know the reason for that. But right quick, let's check out some details on the condition, and then I'm going to get back to this guardianship. I don't think I want to share that anymore. Stop share screen. I'm going to share video now. Probably help if I press the right button. All right.
Williams' team says she has been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. These are conditions associated with changes in behavior, communication, and personality. Now, if this sounds familiar, it may be because back in 2022, actor Bruce Willis was diagnosed with aphasia, which has progressed to frontotemporal dementia. The announcement comes just days before the premiere of a Lifetime documentary about Williams' physical and mental health that is set to air this weekend. For more on this, we want to bring in Dr. Romy Mushtak. She's the neurologist and chief wellness officer at Great Wolf Resorts. Dr. Mushtak, thanks for being with us. She's also the author of the book, The Busy Brain Cure, the 8-week plan to find focus, tame anxiety, and sleep again. Dr. Mushtak, let's talk first about just this condition in general. What are some of the symptoms? And, Wendy is only 59 years old. Bruce Willis was young as well. Is there a typical age of diagnosis?
Vicki, good morning, and my heartfelt condolences out to Wendy, her loved ones, and all of her fans. Frontotemporal dementia is a form of dementia that typically happens at a younger age. Average age of diagnosis is around 45 to 65, and it's an actual group of different types of dementia. One type can affect personality, and the type that they're saying Wendy has can affect speech, known as frontotemporal dementia with primary progressive aphasia. Right there, you can see it can affect both the frontal lobe of the brain right at the front behind your forehead and the temporal lobe behind the ears, as we're seeing on the brain scans here.
Dr. Mushtak, how is this disease typically diagnosed and how does it progress?
Yeah. It's not an easy diagnosis and it can take time. Sometimes the first symptoms are behavioral changes or difficulty speaking. So it's a careful clinical history. In some, there may be a family history. It is not clear with Wendy, and a genetic variant as well. How it's diagnosed is by a neurologist specializing in memory with a careful physical exam, as well as an MRI of the brain, and additional type of imaging known as SPECT imaging that can show how glucose and other tracers are taken up in the frontal and temporal regions of the brain. So it often can take a long time to diagnose and can be a diagnosis of exclusion, which is not easy.
And doctor, what happens next? How is this treated? How does someone like Wendy move forward?
Sadly, Vicki, there is no actual cure for frontotemporal dementia or primary progressive aphasia. Supportive care is what's needed. It's very common to have behavioral outbursts or mood, and there are psychiatric medications for that. Speech pathology and language pathology can help with, prolonging the ability to use language. But the most important thing is that skilled nursing care is given to caregivers, because it can be very difficult to watch a loved one so young suffer.
Yeah, our best thoughts are with Wendy, her family, and her caregivers. Dr. Romy Mushtak, thank you so much for your time this morning.
And see, I'm gonna go back to something else, and then I'm gonna wrap this up with the question about the financial guardianship thing. This wasn't that long ago. This was like 6 years ago, I think. When Wendy was on, and she had some problems with speech and like fainting or something on the show, and everybody just thought she was hot because she had a costume on. And it's like going into like what the doctor was saying and stuff a little while ago. It was even back then, she was probably showing the early onslaught of this coming on.
It's time for our How You Doing Halloween costume contest. We do it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress.
The show cut to black and went to.
And it's weird watching that clip now, because that clip used to be my pick-me-up clip. If I was having a bad day, I would watch that clip and I would crack up. And that just genuinely makes me sad. And what's up, Sharjo? Sharjo in the house. I just said I'm sad and I'm up and now I'm screaming. But this is what brings me to the question. This is my question, and why I brought up this Wendy story. Wendy Williams, regardless of what you think about her as far as what she did for a living, as far as the whole gossip thing, we have to give her credit for somewhat pioneering that genre. She took it from doing that on radio and then taking it to the screen. Like I almost dare say there may not be a Tasha K without a Wendy Williams. Okay. So regardless of what we feel about her career, some things are true. She was good at what she did. She was very committed. You could say she personified the modern go-get-it woman. She personified being a diva, right? Like she would even have it on some of her accessories and stuff. And the W, the double W, which was Wendy Williams, but it was kind of like Wonder Woman. She was like a big personality, very driven. Okay. But here's my question. Is this the classic situation, though, where too much may have been poured into self and career? Because now in the hours of needing people around that genuinely give a F, not people that are around for handouts and 15% and 10%, people that actually care. Like, I wasn't inside their marriage. I don't know why Kevin, did whatever, and what none of us know. We know he's not there now. And my thing is this what the outcome can potentially end up being? Like, we always just get shown the Sex in the City part, like when everything's rah rah rah, chasing everything besides connections. And it's like, this lady needs a connection right now, and my heart really goes out to her that she doesn't seem to have it, you know. But besides a bunch of team people and attorneys and stuff looking out, and we all know what goes on with that. Everything's billable hours with these people. But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming by. I appreciate you spending your Friday Eve with me. All right, we're going to do it again next Friday Eve. I appreciate Cheryl Joel jumping in here for a second. I appreciate you, Todd. All right, coming in here talking about the corrupt Super Mayor. Yo, man. Yo, she's done. She is about to be done. Vernon, everybody that stopped by, I totally, truly appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend. And until next time, peace. And you guys stay informed. All right.